welcome to Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. I am Mr. Randy, and today we're going to be doing a full review of the Smoky Scot. If you're new to the channel, hello and welcome. For all you returning viewers, it's always good to see you. So, the Smoky Scot, quite the interesting bottle we have here today. So, let me go ahead and state that this is a independent bottling of this. I couldn't quite track it down to as where a lot behind the Smoky Scot or the whiskey where it comes from, but I did actually find quite a load of information to share with you today. So this is a Islay single malt. This was the last bottle I found in my area. They do have a cask strength version, which I do believe it's like $70 to $80. Mr. Randy did pay just under $35 out the door for this, and that is a lot less than what it is in average, what I see some places outside of my range. So smoky by name, smoky by nature, and it is definitely something really smoky. So this says it's non-chill filtered, and it is 46%. It's only 700 milliliters. I don't know what the E is there for. I've never seen that before. Let me know what you find out about that if you find anything. But now that we're done with this canister, thank you for your service. Bye-bye. Okay, that was a little over the top. I apologize. So this does come from Coila, which is not to be mispronounced as Islay. It's Coila. It is from ACO Spirits. It is non-chill filtered. It is not age stated, but everybody says that it is a 5-year Scotch that was matured in ex-bourbon barrels, and there's no color added. So we already said that this is under $35, which was a pretty good deal. Last bottle I managed to nab in my area, 46%. Let's go ahead and... The bottle pretty much gives you all the same information that was on the canister. Pretty decent cork pop. Let's go ahead and get a pour on, shall we? I don't think I'm going to be able to hold back that I'm going to tell you that I like this. I really do. So they're saying that the color listed on the website that I found, I only found one that listed a coloring for it, and they gave it a Chardonnay, which I agree, because Mr. Randy does wine. Okay, so Chardonnay, but let's go ahead and get out Mr. Randy's handy dandy whiskey color scale. Where is there a Chardonnay? Where does it say there? I do not have a Chardonnay on my chart, but it's going to be up there towards the pale gold and the corn pale honey. Corn, pale honey. I'd go probably with the pale honey. What do you think? Yeah, we'll peg it at that. Chardonnay, pale honey, whatever it is, it's beautiful and it smells delicious. If you're into peaty smoky Scotch like from Islay, if you like Ardbeg or a little Freud, oh boy. You know, and even that McKellen's Islay was not too bad either. Didn't compare to the Ardbeg or Little Freud, but very nice. This has a bit of of course you get the peat, smoke, brine. There's a little bit of like sweetness, like honey and heather. So there's all that peaty, smoky brininess that you love from the Islay Scotch. But there's something a little sweet too in there. It is such a beautiful nose, and I'm starting to salivate, Mom. I can taste it. But before we get into tasting it, I wanted to give you a look at it and see what we can do about that viscosity. I've seen better legs on this. You can see them right there. It starts to run. You get some pretty fat droplets and they start to run. So it's pretty decent. And we're going to come back on that on the palate and the finish in just a moment. So let's go ahead and get it on the palate. That's a very nice palate. Of course, you got all the peat, smoke, the brininess, but once all that starts to pass and wane, you start to get a little bit of fruit and sweetiness, like a fruit, sweet, light fruit and pepper, which is very interesting. On the very end of that palate, you're getting some pepper. That's after the fruit and sweet. Ah, muy delicioso. This is very nice. Very shocking. Very shocking indeed to find an Islay single malt, this much peat and deliciousness for $35. Now again, I looked up the information online. A lot of places that you can buy it from websites and have it delivered are usually over $40. Some are probably like the $45 to $50 range. This was very nice, which makes it very unfortunate, doesn't it? Because I'm literally going to have to go out of my way to try and find this. I bought the last bottle on the shelf. You know, I don't know if I'm going to bump up to that cask strength, because that oof, I don't know. Some people will tell me you can water it down, you can have it over ice. Maybe I will. Maybe I will. I'm definitely going to put it on the list, to buy list. But let's get a finish on this. The palate itself, before we even get to that finish, just the natural sipping is giving you a little bit of a heat that sort of, everything's just, I know the palate's going to be just the same way, but it's going to be a little bit more intense. But you know what, let's just go ahead and do that. Palate. I just had to get that last little bit. Oh. Starts off at the tip of the tongue. Sort of starts to migrate towards the back, over the top of the tongue. Salivate a little bit. Aspirate a little bit. Clear across the flat of the tongue. Very little bit on the roof of the mouth. A little bit, just a little bit on the cheeks, but now there it is. Now it's hitting the back. Now you can feel that like warmth starting to grow on the very back of the top of the esophagus. Yes, you do get a nice mouthfeel with the palate, and a little bit of the oiliness really like works it out in the finish. I'm going to say this is going to be a through and through, because a through and through is the same thing you get with the nose, you get on the palate, and you get in the finish. I'd say the finish is much better than the palate, and the palate's much better than the nose. So it kind of does teeter on that whole evolution where it evolves from the nose to the palate to the finish. But I think this is more of a through and through, more than it was in evolving. The finish is very nice. It's still kind of in there. It's turned down just a little bit, but you still get the peaty, the smoke, the brine. There's some sweet fruit as you got on the palate. Not so much now because everything's sort of like mixing and salivated, but it's there. You can definitely pull out some fruit and some sweetness, and the pepper. This is a well-balanced Scotch. It's a very well-balanced whiskey. I think everything sort of holds strong through and through. As far as how does this differ from off the rip, I'd probably say it mellowed out just a tad bit. So that's a little bit more. So like it's not going to like blow you away, because it really got me off the rip. Now it's kind of the thing. Maybe I just got acclimated to it, because it's been a while since I've had a good peaty Scotch. And I'm just getting back to it. And maybe that's what it is. Not too sure. I'll mull over that for a bit. So it's got a nice finish. I think the finish is finally start to subside. I can kind of still feel remnants, but I think it's pretty much done. That's not too bad. That's a pretty good finish. So my score on this, $35 a bottle. I may not be able to get it again. It's 46%. It is a peaty Koila, non-age stated. Well, it is a 5-year, no color add. It's got all these great things. Oh man. How about a strong 4 out of 5? Is that fair? You think it's too much? I was going to nail it on a weak 4 out of 5, but you know what? I would definitely be looking for this. Every time I go into a new store, I'm going to look for this. Because if it's only $35 or $40 even, I would definitely pick this up. More so than the McClellan's. That's a pretty decent one, but this one's better than that. This one slips right in there with the Lafroigs and the Ardbegs, in my opinion. And they said it was an independent. So that's what I'm saying. I might not find this again, and that's kind of sad. My fair price on this, like I said, it's up there with the Lafroigs and the Ardbegs, so I'm definitely saying 45, I think would be pretty fair for this. 45, 45.50. Would I pay 45.50 for this again? I probably would. I mean, like I said, if I can find it, I surely would like to snag a bottle and put it in my stash. I definitely would like to add one of these to my stash. But like I said before, there is a cask strength version. I'm going to have to look into that, see if I can't get that more towards under 70. If I can get that under 70, I might just start getting into the 70s, $60 to $70 range really soon. And that just might make it in there. So there it is. Let me know in the comments. Have you heard of this? Have you tried it? What do you think about it? If you've tried the cask strength, how much more is it? I'm not talking about price. Like, how much more would you prefer the cask strength over this one? Sometimes the regular and the cask strengths are not that much apart. Sometimes they are Grand Canyons, chasms apart. Let us know in the comments. And as always, thanks for stopping by here at Mr. Randy's Wine and Spirits. You have a good one.